Hello, my amazing people. It feels so good to be back. I have been going for 3 years and a lot has happened. I started this channel in 2020 in hopes to bring enlightenment and encouragement, right? Uh, but then life decided to life and I had to put this channel on hold. Looking back at it, I probably should have made a video about putting the channel on hold, but so much was happening that it didn't even click in my head to make a video stating why I have to stop. And now I'm at a place where I feel as though I have more time. Certain situations that had occurred is no longer an issue. I'm looking to relaunch my channel. I am going to keep my old videos up as a reminder for me. If you want to watch my old videos, you can. But those videos are a reminder to me about where I was and where I'm at now. So during the beginning of the pandemic, things were good. My mom, she had breast cancer, but she beat it. So that was really good news. And I was like, the world has stopped. This would be the perfect time to start a YouTube channel. I didn't really talk to God about it. I was just like, I got the time, why not? So I just started the YouTube channel. While I'm in the process of recording and making videos and creating the outlines for content, God tells me to apply to grad school for my MSW. And I did not want to go back to school. So it took me a minute, but I did apply. And I was excited when I got accepted, and I'm like, this is great. I have my YouTube channel going. I'm going to start school. Everything is great. Then my mom calls me up and wants me to go to a doctor's appointment with her. So I go. And before we walk into the building, she informed me that she was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, CHF. And she explained to me that she wasn't sure of the severity of her case. She did tell me that it's not curable, that at some point this will eventually take her life, just not sure as to when that will happen. And the appointment was to get an understanding of where she's at with her lifespan. So dealing with that, we go into the doctor's appointment. And I learned, my mom and I learned that her heart is working at 25%. One of her main vows, it starts with an M. Don't ask me what it's called because I don't know, but I know it starts with an M. And it's one of her main vows within her heart was leaking. And it was too damaged for them to go in and fix it through a catheter. So sometimes, depending on what's going on with your heart, they can use a catheter to go inside your heart without having to open you up and repair the damage. But my mom's damage was too severe that they informed her that she had to have open heart surgery. We had to schedule the consultation, and we went through the consultation, set the date for her surgery. My mom's open heart surgery was complicated, and I'll share my mom's, I'll share the story of my mom and I and her health journey. But that became extremely stressful. So after that, right, she goes to open heart surgery. Yeah. School starts. Now, this time frame is literally from I want to say April to July. Actually, I think it's June, because I think she had the surgery June 1st, or maybe it was July 1st, but I think it's June. I think she had the surgery in June. So from April to June, I started a YouTube channel. 1 minute my mom is fine, her cancer's gone, great. Then she gets diagnosed with congestive heart failure, open heart surgery. Okay, now it's me getting ready for classes. Being that it's COVID, classes are now done virtually, which was amazing. So I'm going through school, right? So these are the next 2 years. This is everything in 2 years, and I'll share other videos more in detail. So these 2 years, I am going to grad school. Within grad school, there's an internship, okay? And being that I'm grown and I live by myself, I got grown people bills. So I'm working, right? And then I'm a caregiver to my mom. My mom's health started to decline within those 2 years. A lot of ICUs, a lot of just having to rush her to the hospital. I didn't have time to do a YouTube channel when I had school, internship, a job, and a sick mom. It was just too much for me to handle. So these 2 years, okay, so I'm going through school, I'm stressed out, mom's health is declining, it's not getting any better, which we already know. The year of 2021 was, I can say, the year when I can pinpoint my life has changed. In October of 2021, my childhood father figure had passed away from COVID. 2 months later, my mom on December 9th passed away. January of 2022, my grandmother on my father's side had passed away. So it's 3 deaths that I had to deal with. Now, the day that my mom died, December 9th, was the day before the last day of classes. So now I'm going into finals week. So not only do I have finals, I have 4 finals, and I now have to plan my mom's funeral. My university that I went to, UAlbany, is amazing, and they gave me an extension for my finals. So I had until, I think, January 24th, or no, I think it's January 19th or the 20th, before I had to have everything submitted. Now, I'm still doing my internship. My internship started January, I think, 4th or 7th. So it's like the second week of, well, I think like the first full week of January, I start my internship. So I had to plan a funeral in 2 weeks. And we also had Christmas coming up, right? So it was a hectic time. Then we have the funeral. We have January, I start my internship. And my grandmother passes away. And in that same week of learning that my grandmother passed away, my car got totaled. Somebody late at night, I think he was speeding, hit my car, actually hit 4 cars, and my car ended up on the sidewalk. So my car got totaled. And in that same week, I find out that I had COVID. So I have to find, it's a lot, guys, it's a lot. I had to I can't even say deal with the deaths, because I didn't even have time. I had to find a car. I still have finals, 4 finals. I have to find a car. Classes start January 24th. And I'm sick with COVID. Now, during this time, you had to wait 10 days. Now, I'm here in New York State, so I'm not sure how other states work, but here in New York, you have to quarantine for 10 days. Now, I took an at-home test, and it came up positive. So that quarantine for 10 days, I did not know that you had to upload your results by a certain time in order for the 10-day clock to start. So I just quarantined for 10 days. Then I'm still working. Okay, now my hours are pretty much back to full time because school is not in session. So I quarantined for 10 days. Now, in order for me to get time or COVID pay, I have to get proof that I had COVID or have COVID, right? So I submitted like a picture of a positive test COVID, a positive COVID test to my job, and that's like, they're not enough. That's not enough. We did a PCR test. So I go and get a PCR test, and that PCR test comes back positive for COVID. The 10-day clock starts all over again because the PCR test is like the test to test for COVID. And being that came back positive, that 10-day clock had to start over. It was a hot mess, but classes started. I was able to finish my 4 finals, and I got a new car. Now I'm in the swing of school. I haven't even like had the time to deal with the loss of my mom. I can't even tell you any of my professors' name. The only professor I know is because she was my boss. And yeah, so other than that, like, I do not remember these 2 years of grad school. I can't remember my professor's name. Oh, one professor, dean. I remember the dean because she was my professor. So, okay, but like out of all of the other classes, I cannot remember a name. I do not remember what I've learned. I cannot remember any of my classmates' names, except for one, because she and I are really good friends. Hey, girl. And then I know the grad school was over in May, graduation, and I did the graduation thing in May, and I think that was the time where like it hit. I mean, it's been hitting throughout, because I know I've gone through stages of like depression, but because there's school, there's work, there's internship, it kind of kept me busy enough to where I can mentally get through. May hits, classes are done, finals are done. Well, I didn't really have any finals. It was just classes were done, graduation, and it hit me that my mother was not going to be there for graduation. And it's one of those things that she really wanted to see before she passed. So I did the graduation, and the only reason why I remember graduation is because I have pictures. But if you ask me, I know that my family was there. I don't remember anything else. I have the pictures of where I'm walking across the stage thanks to my family, but mentally I do not remember. Excuse me. After, I can't tell you what we did after graduation. I don't remember. I do remember somebody asking me, and I can't remember who it was. And I owe that person a huge apology. But somebody asked me, it's like, oh, well, now that you've graduated, what's next? And I got like so angry because I'm like, my mother is dead. What do you mean, what's next? What do you mean? Because it was a time where like that's when it really started hitting me. Everybody's excited for graduating. Everybody got like their plans, and here I am. I'm starting, not even still, but starting to really process the loss of my mother. Not just my mother, but the 2 others, right? Then it gets better, guys. So this is May. By like August, my then boyfriend, Evelyn, had cheated on me. And that was a failed relationship, and that ended. So I have three deaths, a failed relationship, and I am just at a place of like, who am I? Where am I going? I have this degree in social work, and I don't know if this ever happened to anyone, But I do remember getting my diploma. No, excuse me, because they don't even give you a diploma, it gets mailed to you. But getting a piece of paper, like walking across the stage and stepping down and like having no desire for social work. I just did a whole 2-year grad program for my master's in social work, and I have no desire to do social work. So I'm at this weird like limbo. The best way for me to describe it is floating around, like floating around in outer space with nothing to grab onto. I did not feel grounded. It felt like everything around me just did not make sense, like at all. So I had hit a point of like depression. And depression, I'm not a depressed person. But since May, I've had like these roller coasters of like depression, and it hit bad. And well, it was bad before. Like I had lows like of depression throughout like my last semester of school. But this time, like I had no clue. I've never been in a situation where I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who I am. I had no like idea what was going to happen with my life, and it was very depressing. What else? So my boyfriend and I, we break up. I'm in this place mentally of not knowing who the heck I am or where I'm going. And this pretty much leads up until like now. I feel like now I am like coming out of it, out of that depressed state. I do live in New York, but I'm currently down in Maryland, which is why I have this on. About to go to a spa, and like one of those bougie spas. Like you got your beta suit and you do like spa things. I've never been to a spa, but I'm about to go. But I'm not at a place, right, where it's like, I think I have an idea. I'm not even gonna say I think I have an idea. I know I have an idea. I cannot talk about my spiritual makeover without talking about God, because he has shown he has shown up and shown out throughout this whole process as catastrophic, as depressing, as hurtful it has been. When I tell you God has just like, looking at it now, he just blows my mind. And so now I'm at a place where I know where God wants me to be, and I'm ready to do it. This channel isn't just about God, so I'm not gonna always like crack open your Bibles and turn to Psalms. Like, it's not gonna be that. This YouTube channel is about my journey of having God make over my life, not being lukewarm, because I did consider myself a lukewarm Christian, but really giving God my whole heart and giving God my all into what he has called me to do. And I know this channel is one of them. So I see this channel going in a whole different direction as to where I wanted to go in the beginning. I am looking to share my journey and my life with you guys. And I hope that in the process of doing that, it would inspire other people. I'm excited. God has confirmed some things to me last night. I went to this church, me and my aunt, we went to this church called Morning Star Baptist Church, and it's here in Baltimore, Maryland. And when I tell you, the Holy Spirit was talking to me. Now, I have a church home back in Albany, New York. And I love my home church. I've been there for over 10 years. It is my foundation. Love it. However, these past few years, I really haven't felt like I was growing in that church. It's kind of felt like I was just there. So last night was the first night in about 3 years, maybe 4, well, 3 to 4 years, where I felt the Lord like really talk to me and confirm some things. And I asked him to reignite a fire in me for what he has called me to do. And I'll share a little bit more later on about what God has called me to do. I asked him to reignite that fire and that passion and that drive, because I'm a driven person. Just life be life. But now I'm ready. Like, I feel ready. I feel good. I feel like I'm ready to take on what God has called me to do. So I'm gonna share that with you guys, and I hope that while I share, I can inspire and hopefully hear some of your stories as well. So please stay tuned, and I look forward to more videos with you all. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.